What if I told you one of the most fought-over pieces of land on Earth is smaller than New Jersey, yet carries more history, heartbreak, faith, and controversy than almost anywhere else on the planet? This is not just the story of a country, it's the story of an idea, one that refused to disappear. Long before it was called Israel, before borders or headlines, this land was known as Canaan, a narrow bridge between Africa and Asia. Armies marched across it for thousands of years. Egyptians, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans. Each empire came and left its mark. But the ancient Israelites were never simply conquerors. Archaeology suggests they began as small tribal communities in the highlands, building modest stone villages while empires ruled the valleys below. They weren't powerful, they were persistent. Then came a defining trauma. In 586 BCE, Babylon destroyed Jerusalem and exiled much of the population. For many ancient societies, exile meant extinction. Identity dissolved, culture vanished. But something unusual happened. In exile, Jewish scribes preserved laws, poetry, and memory. A people survived without a kingdom? That idea would travel farther than any army. In 70 CE, under Roman rule, Jerusalem's Second Temple was destroyed. The physical center of Jewish life was gone. Yet across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, Jewish communities carried language, prayer, and longing for Zion. In medieval Spain, Jewish thinkers helped shape philosophy and science. In Baghdad, Jewish merchants connected vast trade routes. Survival became adaptation. Then came darker chapters, expulsions, pogroms, and in the 20th century, the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews were murdered in Nazi-occupied Europe. The scale of loss reshaped the world. Out of that devastation, the modern Zionist movement gained urgency, though it had begun decades earlier. In the late 1800s, as nationalism surged in Europe, Theodor Herzl argued that Jews needed a homeland for safety and self-determination. At the time, Ottoman-ruled Palestine was home to Arab, Muslim, and Christian communities alongside long-standing Jewish populations. Immigration increased. Tensions rose. In 1917, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration supporting a national home for the Jewish people while also promising to protect existing non-Jewish communities. Two promises, one land. After World War I, Britain governed the territory. As Jewish immigration grew, especially during rising persecution in Europe, Arab resistance intensified. Riots, revolts, mistrust. The conflict became deeply personal. In 1947, the United Nations proposed partition, 2 states, 1 Jewish, 1 Arab. Jewish leaders accepted, Arab leaders rejected. War followed. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the independence of Israel. Neighboring Arab states invaded. Israel survived. But hundreds of thousands of Palestinians became refugees in what they call the Nakba catastrophe. 2 national stories born at the same moment, both shaped by loss. In the decades that followed, wars in 1956, 1967, and 1973 reshaped the region. The Six-Day War dramatically altered borders and deepened the conflict. Yet there were moments of unexpected change. In 1977, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat visited Jerusalem, and the first Arab leader to do so. 2 years later, Egypt and Israel signed a peace treaty, once thought impossible. Still, peace has remained fragile. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict continued through uprisings, negotiations, and failed accords. Hope rose in the 1990s with the Oslo Accords, then faltered again. Today, Israel is known for innovation, a startup nation leading in technology and medicine. Hebrew, once largely a liturgical language, was revived into daily speech. Immigrants from over 100 countries built a complex, diverse society. And yet the tension remains. Sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike, this land carries overlapping histories and claims. So what is Israel? An ancient promise fulfilled? A modern political project? A refuge born from tragedy? A source of unresolved conflict? Perhaps it is all of these at once. Israel's history is not a straight line. It is exile and return, destruction and rebuilding, hope and heartbreak, memory turning into reality. And maybe the deepest question is this: how does a people hold on to identity for 2,000 years, and what happens when that memory becomes a nation? Because in this small stretch of earth, history isn't past, it's alive.